And hello everyone, welcome to the 21st episode of the Crypto Bull. In today's episode, we shall be doing a live stream technical analysis of the cryptocurrency project called ELROND. So, how are we going to do this? Well, as mentioned in all previous episodes, we're going to take a look at the white paper if available. We're going to take a look at the dedicated websites. We are going to take a look at dedicated communities like Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, etc. We are going to try to figure out what the project is about. As per usual, I know next to nothing about the project itself, so this will be a mutual discovery, I'm going to say. So let us begin. First, I'm going to start sharing my screen. There we go. And I tend to use right now the website called CoinGecko, which actually groups everything together from all existing unlisted coins in existence. Another decent website is CoinMarketCap. Let us see. So got here ELROND, positioned on market cap, the number 69. So the teenagers might start laughing a little bit here. I see here ELROND mainnet has launched. This page refers to EGLD, which is ELROND's mainnet token. Okay. The old ERD token refers to CoinGecko ELROND. So I'm going to click on that one just to see the information available. So yeah, it's as empty as can be. It's a little about here. Rookie attack, nothing at stake attack. So that was the previous setup. No active traders. So there's a full-on transfer which occurred. Let's continue here. I'm going to take a quick peek back. I've got the impression there are more information here. I want white paper. And it seems to be the same. There's just an additional one, so I'm going to stick with this one. So what do I see on screen? Its value expressed in USD dollars 66.55 in the last 24 hours had an increase of 3.5%. Okay. More on that later. I see dedicated websites, elrond.com, twice even, and immediately available the white paper. Like seeing that one. It implies if the white paper is immediately available, that the developers are open to criticism and feedback, and it also lets more technical savvy known investors score a little bit about technical aspects of the project. So it's actually quite good. Explorers ELROND, it implies they have their own blockchain, which is well mentioned here on screen. Now if I take back the old ELROND, I'm going to say they were present on Binance Etherscan, so I'm assuming it was a token, but on a Binance smart chain or on the Ethereum smart chain. Oh, that's for later. We haven't seen anything yet. Wallets, Ledger Wallet, communities on Reddit, Twitter, Telegram. Going to click on that later on. Source code available on GitHub. Tags tend to indicate me what it's going to be about. So I see here protocol. Okay, so it implies it has a certain function that can be used. Smart contract platform might indicate it is some kind of development platform akin to Polkadot, Ethereum, etc. Let's continue. Market cap 1,190,000,000. 24 trading volume 101 million. It's about 1/10 on the 24-hour basis. Okay, a bit lowish, but considering the size, it's doable. This I like to see. Circulating supply 17 million, almost 18 million, and there's 21 million coins approximately as a maximum market cap. Love seeing that one. More on that later. Let us see at its historical value. Forgot to mention that. I prefer to look at its entire historical run. So I see here September 3rd, 2020, launched. or listed on CoinGecko up until today. So yeah, it seems to have been following the general market, crypto market. Tends to be on the bullish side on the long term, still, I dare say. By reason, well, the bull run actually started somewhere October 2020. So this might be the case. It's a little fluke. However, yeah, I don't have the historical value of the previous project, which is a little bit of a shame. I can actually try to look it up and see if it listed somewhere else, but that would take slightly too much time, so I'm going to do that one. However, it is a good move that they recently moved towards the mainnet. So on a yearly basis, yeah, nothing changes. Lost 6 months. Yeah, more or less bullish, but yeah, just keep in mind that's the all-time high here. So I'm not all too impressed. In the last 3 months, it seems to be quite bearish here, so in a downtrend. So yeah, it's following market sentiments. This to me implies it hasn't yet established itself as a worthwhile project which can go against market sentiment. I've seen others. Naturally, they are also influenced by the market and are a bit alike, but you can see a certain amount of volatility in its value. And up here, I don't really see it. Even worse yet, from what I can see, yesterday's dip here is actually more severe than from what I can remember and seen with Bitcoin. So there's something going about there. Yeah, seems to be stabilizing slightly on the uptick on the 24-hour rate, which is a good sign. Not entirely convinced by historical value. If I were an investor myself, basing only on, well, value, which does about 80% of the market, so not entirely convincing. However, it has been listed anew quite recently here. So no harm done. Let us continue. Exchanges and availability. Binance, Crypto.com, OKX, VCC. Impression, highest trading volume being on Binance, which kind of makes sense from what I've seen. Before it went through, well, before it transferred to the mainnet, it was available on Binance and Ethereum, so I'm assuming it was beforehand a Binance token, well, a Binance chain token. Let's see what it's about. The coin price market data, so 66, okay. Losing this part, it implies scarcity and rarity on the long term, so that its value might go upward in time. Always losing a limited supply there in the hopes it cannot be, well, heightened in the future. So yeah, in any case, max supply, that's a good one. It's a convincing argument for me for doing a possible investment, all depending on use case. So what is ELROND? ELROND aims to build a high throughput blockchain that aspires to build the next internet scale blockchain. That's a lot of blockchain being mentioned. So development platform for building an internet-wide blockchain. So development platform, I'm going to say smart contract based. I'm going to refer back to what's written here, smart contract platform. Recognizing that most scalability efforts by the projects are not sufficient, in that efforts are merely kicking the can down the road, ELROND set out to create a blockchain that is capable of 1,000 times throughput than most existing blockchains. Throughput of what? I'm assuming transactions here. Is improvement of transaction. Okay, transactions, it is. Throughput allows ELROND to handle even the most aggressive wave of user adoption. So basically, they say we are a development platform, much like Polkadot, Tron, and Ethereum. Almost forgot that one. However, we are capable of doing 1,000 times more output of transactions when compared to one of them. I'm going to say it isn't really indicated with which project they are comparing themselves. So this is a bit of a marketing sentence which doesn't say anything. Sounds good, but there's no real meat here being shed. Anyway, our ELROND's key features: adaptive state sharding. Okay, real-time splitting and merging of shards as the demand for network capacity changes. At any time, the ELROND blockchain will juggle between network sharding, transaction sharding, and state sharding, making the network capacity highly malleable as user demand requires. So yeah, sharding is actually when, to put it simply, it's like forking on the blockchain. And they say we can shard and make deviations on the blockchain depending on the network capacity and demand for it. So when more apps are being built without all too much struggle. They mention here they've got a secure proof of stake consensus mechanism. So yeah, sharding blockchain elects different validators within each shard in every validation round. So I'm assuming with each and every shard or parallel blockchain being made, they elect a number of validators in the proof of stake based network to do the validation and nomination of transactions. So yeah, basically proof of stake but distributed. Don't know why they call it secure proof of stake. ELROND VM virtual machine is a dedicated smart contract execution engine built on VLSM. What the hell that one is, I do not know. Developers can build the EVM in whichever language they're familiar with to be compiled in VRSM. I'm going to assume that they created, a virtual machine for development and that this is related to the language and protocols they are using. How to stake on ELROND? A bit unnecessary here to say it, but anyway. Stake on ELROND can be done either as a validator running a node plus 2,500 EGLD stake or delegator with a minimum of 10 EGLD per delegation. Yeah, it's a bit like Ethereum. Ethereum, they call it a validator and a nominator, but delegator is also a synonym. Delegator actually is going to appoint the validator to validate transactions. So it's really basic explanation for proof of stake. Are distributed automatically, always a proof of stake, are claimable once per day. Okay, no time limit for claims. Currently on delegation waiting list, go to blah 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 blah. So that's an explanation on how to stake. And actually this reads to me as a marketing stunt to provide liquidity to that protocol. Not all too good sign to do. If you're going to do just say what it does and don't try to use too much technical. I wanted to say BS, but I'm going to say technical lexicon. I'm going to be nice today. So this is the official website. Okay, there's two websites. So the ones being mentioned, I'm going to share it back here. Yeah, you are ELROND.com and ELROND.com. One is the official website, the other one is the blog. Okay. Let's scale blockchain is live, highly scalable, fast and secure blockchain platform for distributed apps, enterprise use case, and a new internet economy. Development app, plain and simple. Up here they're pushing a little bit on, it's subtle, but to me this screams we need liquidity, we need money, so you can buy EGLD and you can immediately stake if you have some, if you visit our website. I prefer to enter a website and see what it is about, not immediately, the money hype. So not all too good here. ELROND validates developers, business, investors, ambassadors. Okay. They say, okay, they built it. They use ELROND to build a new internet economy. Same can be said for Ethereum, Tron, Polkadot. So Ravencoin, not entirely convinced here. Massively scalable. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. I'm going to read aloud what's being shared here so you guys can watch with me. White paper, more on that later. That is state sharding. Performance through parallel processing. Secure proof of stake. Like I said, it's delegated proof of stake in reality when I read the description. There might be a few subtleties within the setup when reading the white paper, but I don't see it really as secure proof of stake, as the basic definition from what I'm seeing here is delegated proof of stake, not secure. So call things by their name and try to be unique if you don't make use of unique principles here. This is dedicated smart contract execution, building all languages available to smart contract to include Rust, CC. Okay, can be nice. I'm not a programmer myself, but expanding on the amount of programming languages is always a good sign for future adoption and development. The unit of value that is next to the ELROND network represents medium exchange between users and developers who pay user network and this will take the fees as payment for the services they provide. So it's an intermediary coin being used for users and developers to build on their platform. Network structure, I'm not going to click on this one, but it's the basic definitions of what are the current consensus surrounded by observers. Okay, yeah, it's basically the description here of how things work when on such a platform. Same principles can be found Polkadot, Ethereum, etc. To most investors, less of importance if you're a developer. This is quite important if you want to build on the ELROND network. Comparative overview. Comparing to ELROND, we did that one a few weeks ago, I believe. Yeah. Oh, sorry guys, we need to close that one. Massively scalable, secure, efficient, developer friendly. Start staking, earn rewards. What is it doing with? Whatever. Oh, that's some source code. I've seen that one in a previous project. Okay, I've got to admit, that's a very nice thing to have. You see the actual code and you can analyze it in detail. In C, C++, you can actually start building here. Okay, I've got to admit that one is quite nice. Notation. Hello. Docs ELROND, discover ELROND, start building or validate. Okay, so these are the documents to start building. Nice. At least there is some focus for the developers here. And that's taking whole changes, mining shift. There's a fast growing stressing the internet. Exception from this one, there's a lot I haven't heard about here. Passing through. I can change it. Integrate blockchain with impedance scalability, high transaction speed. So marketing once again. A few simple steps. Exploratory initial call, identify opportunity, tailor solution, timeline and costs, delivery and evaluation. So that's the roadmap to start developing. So they sell their services, it seems. Investors, ambassadors, makers. So they divide their community: investors, ambassadors, and makers. So I'm not going to click on it, probably more marketing talk. I'm not here for it. Feel the ELROND economy. So yeah, once again, making mention of its price, market cap, etc. Doesn't really impress me. Okay, people behind ELROND, highly determined team. Naturally, I'm going to check it out. Strong investor backing, so those are the investors: Binance, Electric Capital, NGC, Maven, Woodstock. Nothing. News, stay informed, or miss an ELROND update. Okay, close this one. These are the guys. I already love seeing some links here. Naturally, I'm going to do my quick test here. Up. Engineering. The guy on GitHub. Just going to do it at random here. I want to see associations with the project. That is a lot of team members. Oh, it was such a platform. Okay. It's not like all the previous networks I did analysis from, where there was a team of more than 300 men and barely any reference on. So, Honor CEO at ELROND. Okay, direct association. Not going to waste too much time on it. Time to build 140k users. More on that later. Why I'm looking at the amount of followers. So I'm going to double check it with the amount of likes and interactions. Guy seems solid. Okay, true profile. It's a Romanian software engineer here. I see immediately ELROND Network, co-founder, head of engineering, core developer. Okay, guy solid. He likes cats. I see ELROND being mentioned here on this profile. So genuine checks out. To build, core developer checks out. I'm going to scroll here. Also ELROND checks out. So solid team behind it, easily available, can be checked up. Love seeing that one. That's a bonus point in my book. Why do I do this checkup? Reason is quite simple. A lot of scam projects start listing people without really their social connections, without their social media, which makes it impossible for investors to do a decent checkup to see if the team behind it is real and not a scam project. I have seen projects where a team has been mentioned, but as soon as I did research of, for example, not a a co-founder, for example, it was immediately mentioned on his LinkedIn profile, I do not pertain to that cryptocurrency project, which has been listed as a scam. That's a big, red flag to say not a decent project. But up here, I find everything, took out a few random people. The photographs check out, profiles check out, and there's mention of ELROND. I'm not going to get further into them. So checks out is actually a solid sign of being a solid team and an indication of being a solid, serious project. So, like seeing it. So that's the blog. I'm just going to check it out. Technical, economics, so everything's being listed. I see regular updates here. Active development, nice. Documents. Yeah, there was technology. I'm going to quickly close the blog here. Documents available. Tend to focus on ESDT token, so improved equivalent of ERC. So as I had the impression, development platform. Get further into it. However, I want to see why they make the comparison here. Shuffling costs, taking on consensus group selection, based on their rating, sharding model, tested realization of new nodes, forking. Yeah, so they. Okay, I'm not going to do the entire overview. So they highlight with your comparisons with Ethereum, Zilliqa, Definity, Algorand, Harmony. There are other platforms they actually should make a comparison to. So they are stating their superiority or even weak points. I'm not going to say weak point, but their superiority over these platforms. And yeah, they call it Ethereum Serenity, so they're comparing it towards, already Ethereum 2.0 possible update, so they could grain of salt here. This more of the same. roadmap. So technical paper was incepted in 2018, so they've been around since 2018. Prototype launch, open code source, white paper update, private testnets, public, blah, blah, blah. So that's their entire roadmap. Class Exchange, DeFi 2.0 module, main service. Where should be here in Model 2. Really enough, I don't see, unless I'm missing something out here. Yeah, okay, they were a bit behind. I've got the impression here it's when the blockchain should have been launched in the second quarter, but ended up being here. So they are in full development since 2018, which makes this project about 3 years old. This squarely puts me, well, gives me an additional point of knowing, okay, it's been around since 2018. It is a project being built, being developed since 2018, so it has more than 3 years of age. Myself, I adhere to the general rule to not invest in cryptocurrency projects which are younger than 2 or 3 years old. And from what I can tell, 2018, that's, I wanted to say bonus point node, but that's a more convincing argument. Normally, I would put it on the side with, well, by reason some scam projects also mentioned, yeah, we've been busy since 2014, etc. This is the roadmap. I'm not going, you have to trust us. However, there was no obvious sign they were actually incepted so many years ago. With ELROND, I know by reason. Well, CoinGecko gave me the hint here earlier on to the old token. So that to me is already an indication. Sorry, that's a roadmap. They've been around for some time. Also, admittedly, in the past, on Quora, I received some questions about ELROND, which well, a few details about ELROND. When it was a token, gave my opinion about it, looked very leisurely in it, but not all too deep. I know it's a little bit hypocritical to say so, especially when I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, yeah, never heard of it. Not entirely true. I heard about it, but never really looked deep into it, never associated my name with it, really. So actually, for me, this is the first time I'm getting deeper into it. But yeah, anyway. Go for internet scale, active state sharding, secure proof of stake. Okay. That's the same. That's the block, so we had that one. White paper. So let us see. Highly scalable public blockchain via adaptive state sharding and secure proof of stake. Abstract element of secure, blah, blah. State sharding, machine for practical scalability, so development platform. These are the more technical details, not going to get deeper into detail, however. Yeah, so treat models. This actually, as an educator, I find important where it concerns projects, where it concerns proof of stake. You guys may pause the video here and read this part. It highlights the weaknesses towards a proof of stake based platform. And something, if you are a technical guy, developer, should take into account and try to remember as best as you can. So I love seeing it mentioned here. By reason, this highlights the weaknesses of a proof of stake. However, most projects, I hope Ethereum does so, but I know from Polkadot, which is also proof of stake, and Ravencoin. No, Ravencoin, it's proof of work, sorry. Like Ethereum, for example, is going to implement a proof of stake based consensus protocol, but is going to try and implement updates which evade, well, these problems here. Hopefully so. So yeah, further indication. So it's much more technical. If you really want to get deeper into it, I advise reading the white paper. It's only 19 pages long with a few images here, so I'm not going to get all too deep into it. I want to keep my live streams as short as possible. So that's where it concerns the technical updates and its market value. I'm going to say up until now, it seems okay in my book. I'll do revision well. Ended up one after checking out the communities to see if they are living and thriving, though I think they will be, by reason I saw a lot of followers with their co-founders, and everything is more or less clear. More on that later. Opened by moderators. Activity 8 days ago, 3 hours ago, 2 days ago, 2 days, but I see some comments here, some of votes. There's even a little article here. Next-gen scalable. Into the ELROND project, next-gen scalable value transfer blockchain protocol. So yeah, it basically co-founded in late 2017, some mentioned 2018. The ecosystem, blazing speeds, blah blah blah. Most of it is marketing, but this is a little rundown. Yeah, just opened it up. Guys can pause the video when I open it up and type in the reference of the website. Much about ELROND, what is stake, leading Southeast Asia 7 days ago, built first ELROND. A lot of talk about ELROND, I'm going to say, but what I'm missing here for a bit is a little bit of memes, etc. By reason, well, it doesn't make the community as dry cut, so a bit of a shame, really, but indicates that it's a more serious project and people are taking it more serious. Haven't really got time to make jokes, but anyway, it's a good sign on one hand, but on the other hand, a bit lightheartedness never did any harm and can actually help a little bit on the marketing side. Are you scalable, fast and secure blockchain? Okay, 255,000 followers. Value of 3, yeah, okay. 539, okay. Interaction seems to be quite good. Week summary reports. Check by Twitter, so it's nice. Interaction on Twitter seems to be doing quite fine. It's a good sign. Definitely check out their Twitter if you want to learn more about these guys. Telegram, let's check it out. Your ramp, so that's a new user. Hello there. Quick scroll. Telegram seems to be a bit on the slowish side, but that's all right. Doesn't mean the guys are being nagged all too often. So I believe it's time to round up the episode and come to my conclusions. So what can I tell about ELROND? So development platform aimed at businesses and, well, mostly at businesses, I have the impression, and crypto-based businesses, I'm going to say. Prides itself to be an alternative to Ethereum, Algorand, and other development platforms. Where it concerns historical value, well, they have been listed on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko somewhere at the end of 2020. By reason, they went on their own mainnet. So it doesn't give me an entire view of their run through time, which is a bit of a shame, really. However, it seems they are in the stage of proving their own merit, so that they are battling an uphill battle, I'm going to say. They have been around since 2018, from what I've seen on the website, and which is once again highlighted by a reference on CoinGecko, where it said, okay, this is the old token where it was still on Ethereum or Binance before they went to mainnet. Sad part is I cannot see how well they performed in the past. Bit of a shame. I might probably find out if I look throughout the communities and throughout various social media sites and all posts being made, but not going to do that. However, I know they have been incepted in 2018, which means they've been around for at least 3 years, which in my book ticks off a nice point to say, okay, it is investment worthy. They are in full development from what I've seen. Especially their Reddit page is quite serious. Haven't seen all too many memes and jokes about it, which means, well, people are being serious about the project. That's a good sign. Lesser sign is, well, there aren't really memes, so there aren't really supportive liquidity providers, I might say. So not the hype crowd in itself. I despise the hype crowd, but it is a necessary part for the success of a project. Bit of a shame missing that one out, but not all too bad. What can I tell more apart from its historical value? Well, its use case, well, it's going to have to fight an uphill battle with Algorand, Polkadot, Ethereum, and other development platforms. However, is there a fair chance they will make it? Probably. From what I can tell, it looked quite solid. The only things which annoyed me a little bit were some redefinitions occurring, like the secured proof of stake, whereas a more correct term might have been delegated proof of stake. By reason, it's practically the same principles that are being applied there. Yeah. Also, alternative uses for certain naming of nodes, like nominators being called delegators, validators remain validators, and then there's the fishermen, which are the guys who set up a node but aren't really active nominating or validating. So, yeah, it makes it a little bit tricky to see what it's all about and how they function. However, taking a look at the website itself, things become quite clear. What annoyed me a little bit was when, upon entering the website, and this is actually constructive criticism I want to share, was the immediate mention where to buy and where to stake. Whereas for investors, it's much more interesting to first see an entire rundown of how things function, what it does, how it works, etc., before saying, yeah, you can buy it here, you can stake it there. It gives a little bit the impression of being desperate for some liquidity and some money inside the project. So that's a little bit of an annoyance and, well, deduces a few points in my mind. Investment worthy? I'm going to have to say, since they have been launched on the mainnet, it has yet to prove its merit. It has potential, certainly, but myself, I'm not immediately going to invest in it. By reason, I am more convinced of other likewise projects, such as Polkadot, or yeah, no, I wanted to say Ethereum, but that's another discussion I'm not going to hold here. But something like Polkadot, I'm much more convinced about. However, they deserve a fair chance. We'll see how it develops. Sorry there. Going to mainly keep an eye on it on the backseat for now. Might be the case within, say, a few years' time. I'm going to entirely change my mind and say, yeah, okay, it's a worthwhile project. Invest in it. If you are an early adapter and you see some good potential and say, yeah, but I only invest in coins which are platform related, I'd say ELROND is one of the better ones to take a risk in. So invest in it, take the chance. Myself, I'm going to remain out by reason they are yet to prove their merit within my mind. I haven't seen a very compelling use case or argument which says to me, okay, I'm going to invest in it now because I'm 100% sure within this and a few years it's going to grow exponentially. So that bit is a little bit lacking, but I dare say they have a fair chance in the future to grow decently. From what I can tell, there's a good team behind it, a decent team. I wanted to say well-developed team, but a diverse team. Website is nicely done, and well, they focus on technical aspects. So that's a bonus point. So yeah, that's the technical analysis I've done from ELROND. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you next time in the next episode of Crypto Bull. And well, until next time.